right. I went there. I said it. Who is the best player in the world right now? Is it Kylian Mbappe? Is it Erling Haaland? Erling Brot Haaland? That's all due respect, obviously, to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, who could have the last laugh here and emerge and possibly win another Ballon d'Or. It's looking less and less likely, but underestimate these two at your own peril. But it feels like we've turned the page on for the next, which is a relief to fans because Messi Ronaldo is the most compelling storyline we've had in this sport. It is the most popular question asked time and time again. And everyone goes, what happens when they're gone? Well, you have two legit candidates to fill that void. Erling Haaland is 20. Kylian Mbappe is 22. And they are highlight reel players. They keep scoring amazing goals. And the reason the discussion's coming up now is what they did this week. Kylian Mbappe with the hat trick against Barcelona in the Champions League. And for Erling Haaland, to me, scored the best goal of the season, the volley. Check it out. I don't have the Bundesliga right, so I can't show him here. Maybe I can get a photo. He scored this amazing volley that he barely touched. It went off his foot, and it just flew. The thing with him is that he reminds you of so many players. One minute he looks like Cristiano Ronaldo, the next minute he looks like Zlatan. There is an artistry about him, which I put Haaland a little bit ahead. I know that's crazy talk, but I put Haaland a little bit ahead because he takes my breath away a little more frequently. Now, Mbappe probably gets the nod overall because of the success he's had, and I think that's a huge part of being called the greatest. You've got to have successful runs. He's won the World Cup with France. They'll be the favorites in the Euros coming up this summer, and maybe the next World Cup. France could be winning a lot of trophies. They're just unbelievably good. And then he got to the final with PSG, so he's playing in the big games. We don't see that from Haaland because he's Norwegian, and Norway have not been to a major competition. They hit a hurdle in Euro qualifying, which was very disappointing. So he doesn't get that. And Dortmund's very inconsistent. Dortmund's an inconsistent club. He needs to go to that next step. Dortmund look like they'll make the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but who knows how far they will go beyond that. So the change of scenery will help, but I still think when I look at Haaland, and the numbers back it up, let's go through it really quick. When you look at the goals, and I look at it from the Champions League, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Haaland. Haaland, who's scored 30 goals in 32 Bundesliga games, has scored more goals than the other three, and he's done it in less games. Mbappe trails Messi in assists, but the assists for Mbappe closes the gap. So stats are amazing. Mbappe, when you look at him, the one thing you notice, how fast he is. He's the fastest player we've seen. Haaland has the skill set that is just one of the things that you barely see. That how could he dare to do this? They both have this great attitude as well. And I think even Haaland said after he saw the hat trick from Mbappe, he says it gave him motivation. So they're looking at each other. I'm going to give it to Haaland right now. It's a very tight race. We could see these two play in a Champions League semis and final. How exciting would that be? PSG to me is one of the three favorites in the Champions League along with Manchester City and Bayern. I think those three are above the pack pretty convincingly. I really want to go over on some unfortunate news with some of the U.S. internationals that has happened. I'm going to start with Christian Pulisic. Pulisic, who wasn't getting into games for Chelsea. Then he wasn't even in the 18. There's some strange things around him, and obviously we know the injuries, but there was one reason he wasn't with the 18 where they said he had some issues he had to work out. But no one told us what that was, and there was no record of maybe he had to come back to the States or what have you. It was just a very mysterious walk, and that makes me ask a lot of questions. It's the latest development. You want this to turn up, and maybe he can get back to Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel, the new manager, has said as much, that this is a player who is going to feature. But we don't know what's going to go on. And Christian Pulisic, we hope his next game is against Atletico in the Champions League. I can't see him playing because we haven't seen him come through there. So he's missing this ride, and Chelsea are doing pretty good without him, although their schedule is going to get a lot more challenging. It's we can't pencil him in on anything the U.S. does, but we will hope for the best, but it's been disappointing. The other situation is Jordan Morris, who was on loan with Swansea in the English Championship. A horrific injury over the weekend. We don't want to speculate too much, but even his manager said it does not look good. Steve Cooper, pardon me. And this is just heartbreaking because this is a guy who's had so many health issues coming in. He gets this opportunity, and the best case scenario, he does well, he plays regularly, Swansea gets promoted, and all of a sudden he gets bought by the club, and he's an American striker playing in the English Premier League. Now that's not going to happen. Swansea are not going to buy him because he's not going to play. He probably should, if the injury is as serious as it seems, he's probably going to come back to the States and get ready for Seattle season. He's 26, so maybe a European move's off the table. This was a unique circumstance. This was a moment where European clubs can go for the loans because the money's not right. And now Jordan Morris, just everything went horribly wrong. We hope, I pull for guys more than others. This is obviously, and some injuries, they say, are worse than others. And this is absolutely a situation where that is true. But this was disappointing. Also for the U.S., Brian Reynolds had to come back to the States to deal with some bureaucratic problems. I think that's what Roma said. So we haven't seen him play yet, but we hoped to hear it. And all the things coming from Roma is that he is going to be part of this team. I'll leave you on a good note because Chris Richards, 90 minutes for Hoffenheim. He is the goods, folks. Watching this guy get a good look. He can play center back. He can play left back. He can probably play right back. He can move. He can use both feet. He's good with those feet. He's 6'3". He's good in the air. He's good on set pieces. I'm ready to put him into the starting 11 when the U.S. start World Cup qualifying. That's how impressed I am with Chris Richards. Richards, I looked at Transfer Market. They value him at $6 million. But when I see him this weekend, knowing how the trajectory, that's a $20 million player, if not more, because center backs in particular with that skill set are hard to find. So, not the best news from Europe for our American players, but there's always a silver lining and things will always get better, especially if you subscribe to the Soccer OG.